Hey, Melissa, can you hear me?
Yep. Hey Marty, how you doing?
Oh, good. How about you?
Good. Good to see you.
I just got a new laptop, and so
Oh,
come to find out the audio was set up for earphones, because students get most of those. And so I just wanted to make sure the audio was working.
yep, I can hear you perfect. Yep.
Okay, good. I'm gonna
So
close my door really
what is
quick
the
here.
what's the deal with Miss Katie? I quickly read that email and then I was like, wait, what?
Thank you. Yeah, Katie. Um, Yeah, I'm definitely gonna miss her. She came into my office yesterday and mentioned she took a job with Tico, and it's what a great place to be. One of your first jobs. After you graduate, and I'm very excited for her, to be honest with you. And it's a big
Yeah,
loss for us, but I'm excited for her. I worked with Tico Energy for 10 years, and then Duke Energy for 10 years. So utilities
yeah,
are really good, good companies to start your career. And if they like you, and let's say your spot dries up a little bit, your position dries up, and there's, transitioning to different business model and stuff, then if they like you, they'll find another place for you.
yeah, for sure.
So what a great opportunity for Katie. So,
It seemed
and
like a
she,
like a fast, like boom,
yeah,
gone.
well, she she was mostly upset about that she couldn't make today's meeting to tell everybody. So
I know. Well, I'm gonna leave that to you to let the group know. Since
okay,
I'm filling in for Lori, so I'm just literally gonna fill in and just, you know.
yeah. Oh no, I know. I mean, I'm so glad that she was sitting right next to me and my first meeting with
Yeah,
being as chair. She's such a
yeah,
great help, and then Katie mentioned it's not a big ask to be chair, because everything's all done. So
yeah, yeah. You just have to run a
and
meeting twice,
yeah,
12 times a year. That's it. Easy.
yeah, yeah, and I we'll see how everything goes, but we'll make the best of it. And um, I see, what time is it? Yeah,
Oh, let me start sharing screen. I thought I was sharing
yeah.
screen. Hello. But yeah, I'm not giving the bad news just when I'm filling in. Somebody else can give the bad
Okay,
news.
yeah. I'll give the bad news.
We can make Eric give it.
I was just about to
Yeah,
say we should make Melissa do it.
I don't want to give bad news.
yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, she. I'll just mention it here in a few minutes, but
For sure. So before we dive into this, Eric, did you get my email? And what do you want me to do?
Yes, I'm in the process of reviewing them now. So
Okay.
if we don't hear from her by the end of the day, I'll just once I finish reading through them, I'll just approve them.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I'm like, time's a ticking. It's bringing back all those memories.
It's just like the old days.
It's been forever.
and I have a list of everybody last two meetings, and just in case I have trouble with the names and stuff, but
Yep.
It's a good idea.
Yep.
So I'll just wait a few more minutes here.
For sure.
Yeah, the February meeting will come up pretty quick since this one kind of was in the middle of the month, right?
Yep. Yeah. Like 2.5 weeks after. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess 3 weeks. Technically.
Right. Still have some people coming in. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get started, I guess. What do you think, Eric? Go ahead and get started.
Yeah, I think so. If there's any other folks coming, they can just kind of trickle in.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to start out, Melissa, maybe, but but to mention that Katie is moving on to a position with Tico Energy, and she came into my office yesterday to let me know. But then she was mostly upset that she couldn't make today's meeting and let everybody know, in person. But then she sent that email out to Eric and the team, and so she's probably going to be involved. Most likely, we'll see how her new position goes there with Tico. But then she mentioned to me yesterday that she'll probably, no matter what her job is over there, she'll probably go ahead and get into the meeting every now and then just to say hello. So anyway, but we wish Katie well. It's a tremendous opportunity for her. And I just wanted to start out by saying thanks to Katie for all her contributions on this team and really getting it going good. And then I guess we'll start with introductions. I'm Marty, the energy manager with the University of Tampa and acting chairperson. Let me see. I'll just start at the top. Melissa.
Yep. Hey, everybody. Melissa Shepard with JMT filling in for Lori. So just to remind everybody, please mute your mics if you are not speaking. And this meeting is being recorded.
Thanks, Melissa.
Thanks.
And then Matthew.
Hey guys, Matt Almonte with Gresham Smith.
Okay, and then I have let's see here, Susan.
Hey, Susan Boda with Benesh. Happy to see you, Melissa. We miss you.
Hi, Michelle.
And Eric.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Eric Henry with FDOT District 7 Traffic Safety Office, CTST Program Manager.
And Nicholas.
Hi everyone, Nick Ennis with Element Engineering Group.
And let me see here. Oops. James.
Good afternoon, everybody. Jim Reiser, Florida Law Enforcement Liaison, District 7.
And then Brenton.
Hello, Brenton Mosier, USF Cutter.
And then I have a person that called in that I don't have the name up on my screen. Do they want to introduce themselves?
Well, that might be me, Brian Gerke, International Student Support Team with USF World.
Hey, Brian, your audio kind of patched out a little bit, but thanks for being here, Brian.
Thank you.
Jacob Gonzalez, Tampa Police Department.
Jacob, thank you for being here. And so welcome everybody. Thanks for being here today. We're mid-February here meeting because with the first Wednesday of the month was New Year's Day, right? Or day after New Year's. But we'll
Hey,
go ahead
Marty.
and get started. I'm sorry.
Hey, Marty, we got a couple more people. We've got Josh Blackman, Ellen, and David Liller on the
I missed
line.
somebody. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Josh, I'm sorry. Josh?
Yeah, good afternoon, Josh Blackman, City of Tampa Mobility Department.
And then who else did I miss?
Miss Ellen and David Liller.
Ellen Snelling, Tampa Alcohol Coalition. Good afternoon.
Hey, Ellen. Anybody else?
David Liller, HCC, Ybor City Campus.
Okay. Sorry about that. I didn't see those folks on my screen, so I'll have to figure that out for the next time. So we'll go ahead and get started on business updates, a problem identification follow-up. Is there any update on the Lois Avenue crossing to get to HEC campus? Guess no update there.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything. Are we waiting for any updates from anybody on this? Or is there anybody we can follow up with?
Yeah, I'm trying to think who Lois Avenue was it the HCC representative that brought that up in one of our meetings. Let me see, who was that?
That was Paige.
Paige, yeah.
Niehaus.
So I can see if I can get a hold of Paige for next month's meeting and get an update on that, or just to find out if she'll be at next month's meeting. Melissa, do you have Paige's contact information that you could share with me?
Yeah, sure. I can send that over to you. It
Okay.
does say that that the Drew Park CRA CAC approved the mobility project earlier in April, and I believe this was 23 or maybe early 24. There's no time frame that it was going to be completed, and this was a City of Tampa project. So I guess the last thing was that it could be completed in December. So I don't know if it has. I don't know if anybody's out there that can tell us.
Okay. Well, if not, I could call for an update.
Okay.
I'll just have to get the exact location and I have city contacts that I could see where that's at. But they were anticipating getting that thing or the crossing done in December of last year.
Yeah, she said the
Okay.
earliest the crosswalk could be done is in December.
Earliest, okay. Yeah, and if you could send me your contact information, I'll reach out to Paige and see if we get an update on that. Any updates on the lighting issue at BBD and Holly Drive? I think that's a USF project, huh? Over there by USF, Holly Drive.
Yeah, I believe Officer Marsano was talking with some folks with the county related to this one, but I don't think I've seen her at the last couple of meetings, so I'm not sure where we are with this one either.
Okay. Is Officer USF Police Department? Eric?
Yes.
Okay. I'll make a note of that and see if I get any updates on that. And that's the Holly Drive BBD lighting issue. Okay. Okay, and the Kennedy Boulevard and Willow Avenue, I drive by all that construction work there off of Kennedy every day, and Willow Avenue's been north of Kennedy's been blocked off, and then it's been cleared and then blocked off, and then what was it, last week on Friday, there was just one lane blocked off. So I reached out to the city's contractor, Westra, and that work, and in fact, their outreach company is sending us updates when they do road closures on Kennedy. So, and they're anticipating the water line work along Kennedy will be finished in late spring, which I'm estimating April, sometime in April, end of April. So work will be ongoing. We're going to continue to deal with all those construction activities, probably all the way through, spring break, and then maybe late spring, late April. As far as the North Boulevard between Cass and Kennedy, Josh is here today. That's great. Josh, do you have an update on the application?
I do, and I don't think it's one that I'm happy to share. Yeah, so we got news that the grant application was not awarded to the city of Tampa. I don't have any other information as to why. Hopefully get some more information in the next few weeks, but yeah, we just found out this week.
Okay. Well, thanks for that. We're gonna have to keep on plugging along on that one. Do you think they're just given that, Josh, any next steps that are clear, or do we just kind of play it out for the next month and then see where?
And what do you mean next steps for what?
I mean, is there possibly other avenues for funding for that? The Safe Streets for All. I know that was a tough ask, but is that something maybe we should pursue, or maybe not, or even other funding opportunities out there?
I don't know at this point.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for the effort for sure. It was definitely worth the try. And I think we should keep this on our list moving forward. And in fact, I might probably have an internal meeting here with our design and construction group and see if there's any hints of anything else happening there along North Boulevard on that 1.8 mile stretch. And then now, I guess, calendar updates and activity reports. First thing on our list from last month. Let me see here. Let me look at actually, I should probably have the agenda up here. So any calendar updates, activity reports, law enforcement activity, bicycle pedestrian reports that folks want to have some input on?
Jacob Gonzalez, Tampa Police Department. We have a couple things going on this month. We have Pirate Fest at University of Tampa on the 24th. We'll have some officers out there discussing various traffic safety topics, including impaired driving. We'll have our fatal vision goggles out there walking those students through field sobriety exercises. They mimic impairment, like give you blurred vision. For Gasparilla Day, we'll have 15 DUI officers throughout the night, beginning at 3 p.m. and going throughout. We'll be partnering with HCSO, who will be running their BAT. And so far in January, we've had 61 DUI arrests, down about 20% from last year. But we've had several vacations and officers with injuries or schedule modifications, which explains it.
Great. Thank you for that. Anything else for updates, activity reports?
Brian's got his hand up.
Hey, please let me know. Can you hear me better now? Just microphone.
Yes, we can, Brian.
Okay,
I can.
good. Excellent. So we are going to have a bicycle, pedestrian, auto, scooter, and skateboard safety next Thursday, the 23rd. Cutter has already committed to join us. I have reached out to Officer Reeder, haven't heard back from him, but hoping that USFPD can also join us. It's from 11 to 1 p.m. And on a kind of sad note, we just learned yesterday an international student was struck on 50th Street, pedestrian, not fatal, but serious, and is in the hospital. So I guess very timely to have such a workshop. We do focus on international students, but anyone's welcome to attend.
Thank you for that, Brian.
Hey, this is Susan. Just the Walk Like Mad is March 28th at USF. So if you're not on a team, you need to get plugged in and signed up.
Thanks for mentioning that, Susan.
You said that was the 28th, Susan?
That's correct. March 28th.
I have a couple things I can mention from my side. We will be out at the MLK parade this Monday. We'll have some folks from our office and from Onboard Tampa Bay who will be participating in the parade, throwing out some beads and stuff. It's a little bit out of our kind of area of influence, but on the 25th, we will be in Dade City for the Kumquat Festival, which I did not previously know existed, but I understand that it's actually quite a big event. So we're pretty stoked to be there. And then at the end of the month on the 31st, some of the folks in our office and some folks from Safe Kids have set up a helmet fitter technician training. So if you're not helmet fit certified, this is a pretty quick course that just kind of goes through how to properly fit a helmet onto somebody. And it also allows you access to helmet fitting resources, so you can order helmets for free if you're doing a helmet fitting event. So if you are not helmet fit certified, we would highly encourage anybody who's available on that day to come out and get trained to do it. It's going to be the 31st in St. Pete at the, I believe it's the Sunshine Center is what it's called. It's like a little community center, kind of in like the Mirror Lake area. So if you're interested in that at all, you can reach out to either myself or to our brand new bicycle pedestrian program manager, Tina Russo, who has just started in the last couple of weeks. If anybody knows Tina from Pasco MPO, she just recently left that position and has started with us. And then one final thing that I have is that the central office HSP grant application cycle is now open. So this is a great funding opportunity for not only state agencies and law enforcement agencies, but universities are eligible as well. So if you're interested, you can reach out to me. We could provide some more information or see if we can help point you in the right direction as far as those applications go. And like I said, that is open, and the deadline for applications for that are the 28th of February. And that's all I got.
Thank you for that, Eric.
Jim Reiser's got his hand up.
Hey, Jim, what do you got?
Hey, real quick, just we wrapped up the holiday drive, so we get pulled over at the end of the beginning of January. So I'm still getting the stats in for that, but we had good participation from all agencies in the Tampa Bay area, including the university police. And just on a side note, I'm surprised Tampa didn't mention this, but Officer Doug Bailey has been a DUI unit over there in Tampa and been one of the officers out there has really taken a proactive approach to DUI enforcement. Is going to be recognized by the Tampa Bay Lightning tomorrow night through the state FDOT safety office for his DUI reduction efforts. He's got lifetime DUI arrest over 2,000. So it's a big accomplishment for him to get a little recognition along with himself and the Tampa Police Department for their continuing efforts to try and curb impaired driving, especially with their outreach to the universities this time of year. It's very important. And I'll yield back.
Thank you for mentioning, Jim.
I have a couple things. Jim, if you could send us any photos from that ceremony for our newsletter, that would be awesome. And USF is having their annual Campus Safety Day on Monday, February 10th. So we will have a Cutter FDOT presence at that event. That's campus wide. It was used to be held in September or October for Campus Safety Day, but there were just too many hurricanes, so they split it from that, and now they're having it in February.
Thank you for mentioning, Brendan.
Also a little outside of our purview, but the city of Temple Terrace has just announced their Walk with the Mayor event, Bike with the Mayor event. This is their 11th annual event, and so I will put the information in the chat. So if anyone is interested in coming over and supporting us with that, we're trying to get to 100 riders this year because it's the city's 100th anniversary.
Well, good luck to the city of Temple Terrace. Hope they do it. Who's the current mayor over there, Brenton?
Andy Ross.
Andy Ross.
Yes.
Okay. So that was a good wrap up on the calendar updates and activity reports. Melissa, did you want to try your hand at the fatal crash maps with Lori?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I'm gonna channel Lori. All right, let's do this. Let me decrease this a little bit so you guys can see. All right. So from January 1st to October 29th, there have been 20 fatal crashes. At the last CTST from January 1st to September 15th, there were 16 fatal crashes. 4 new fatal crashes since the last CTST were within 1 mile proximity to a college campus. 1 at USF, it was a bicycle. 2 at UT, 1 was a right angle, 1 was a pedestrian, and 1 was at HCC Ybor, and it was labeled other. So for the USF bicycle fatality crash, it was report number 265-47709. The bicycle fatal crash occurred on October 24th at 4:06 p.m. on Bruce B. Downs and Campus Hill Drive, not at the intersection in day, clear, and dry conditions. Vehicle 1, which was a Hart bus, number 2139, was traveling southbound on Bruce B. Downs Boulevard in the right through lane. The pedestrian was operating an electric scooter southbound on Bruce B. Downs in the sidewalk. While making a transition down from the sidewalk to the bike lane, the pedestrian lost control of her scooter and fell forward onto southbound right through lane of Bruce B. Downs Boulevard. The pedestrian was simultaneously struck by vehicle 1 as it was traveling in the right through lane, which is extremely sad. Okay, so for the University of Tampa fatal crashes, the first fatal crash was a right angle fatal crash. This is report number 268-67910 on October 10th at 10:15 p.m. at East Palm Avenue and Florida Avenue in dark, not lighted, clear, and dry conditions. This right angle fatal crash was within 1 mile buffer overlap zone of UT and HCC Ybor College campus. Vehicle 1 was traveling westbound on Palm Avenue in the travel lane, approaching the intersection with Florida Avenue, which had a non-operational electronic traffic signal. Vehicle 1 failed to treat the intersection as a 4-way stop, entered the intersection, and was struck vehicle 2 on the passenger side. The second fatal crash was a pedestrian fatal crash, report number 268-68703 on October 27th at 2:45 a.m. on West Horatio Street and South Howard Avenue, not at the intersection in dark, lighted, clear, and dry conditions. Vehicle 1 was exiting a private roadway located at 433 South Howard Avenue, turning right onto West Horatio Street. As the vehicle turned from the private roadway, it turned right without stopping. The vehicle's right front tire struck the pedestrian. These are very sad. For the HCC Ybor other fatal crash, which is report number 264-22501. The other fatal crash occurred September 26th at 7:49 p.m. on the I-4 entrance ramp and 21st Street, not at the intersection, in dark, lighted, severe crosswinds, and wet conditions. Vehicle 1 was on westbound I-4 entrance ramp west of State Road 585. During travel, a two-post roadway freeway sign fell onto the top of the Vehicle 1. Vehicle 1 came to a controlled stop outside shoulder of the Interstate 4 ramp facing west. So there are 20 fatal crashes through October 29th. In the same period of 2023, there were 13 fatal crashes. The University CTST is up by 7 fatal crashes in the same time period.
Thank you for that, Melissa. And you know, I know that Lori mentioned, boy, all the numbers are going up, and you know, there's a lot of factors that go into that. You know, I was an industrial engineer major, and you know, we do process flows and you know, manage production lines and things of that sort. But it's like a perfect storm out there. You know, Florida. I mean, FDOT has numbers back was it last year when 1,000 people a day are moving down to Florida. So our roads are much more busy. You know, then you couple that with now pedestrians are more and more using our roads, and with these e-bikes, and our sidewalks are being used more. So it's just it's like a perfect storm out there, and you know, I'm not sure you know, how we can factor in those, you know, in these you know, comparisons, you know, to last year. But I think, you know, the numbers would be much bigger, just my opinion, if we didn't have all these efforts that FDOT, you know, proctors. It's thank you to FDOT to keep it going and keeping the positive vibe going. So I just wanted to mention that. I just think there's more into it than, you know, a comparison to this year's crashes to last year's, given some of the other moving parts out there. So just my my opinion anyway. So
Yep, Brian's got his hand up.
Just a quick question. The collision with the Hart bus, is that close to the USF Tampa campus? Am I correct? That's a yes? Okay.
Yes.
I am familiar with one, I guess, with a sophomore like last April, but you said this was in October?
Yes, this was on October 24th at 4:06 p.m. And this
2024.
was, yes, and this
Okay.
is Bruce B. Downs, so it's got to be where's Bruce B. Downs? Some campus in China. I think it's this one or it's this one. I don't know.
Okay. I am familiar with one, I think, in April on 42nd Street with a sophomore, but I'm very curious. I have a feeling that scooters are coming of age. You're seeing them more and more, and we're going to see more of these, I think, because they can go at such a high speed. And actually, I had a international student from Bangladesh who just agreed to give his testimonial for our Instagram. He wasn't injured, but he mentioned a situation where he was traveling on the sidewalk, and then he passed through a crosswalk in front of a parking garage, and the car had already come out into the crosswalk, and he had to go around it into the road. But he said, thankfully, there was a red light and there were no oncoming cars. But it kind of frightfully reminds me of the situation that you just mentioned for the student on Bruce B. Downs, where they come from the sidewalk to the road. And I just worry we're going to see a lot more of this, especially at how high a speed they go on the scooters, and that they quite often go right through crosswalks and entrances and exits from the sidewalk. And I'm just sure drivers don't see them quickly enough, or drivers haven't gotten used to factoring them into the equation as they're driving.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Do we know of any studies with scooters that are focusing on that as a growing trend for bicycle and scooter accidents and fatalities? Is there anything, do you think, focusing on that study-wise?
Well, Eric, didn't we had part of a CTST meeting one month
Mhm.
last year, I think, that we had presenters present on scooters. Any
Yeah,
insight on that?
I believe it's Dr. Kui with
Mhm.
USF, Can Kui. That is her field of study. I can't remember what her particular focus is, but it is involving those micromobility devices. And I can say just from the kind of FDOT traffic safety side that it's definitely clearly emerging as like an emphasis area, especially in our region. But it's been kind of difficult. It's one of those things where it's very hard for us to have any kind of crash data analysis of what the impact of those is, because there's no clearly defined way to indicate that a micromobility device was involved in a crash on a crash report that law enforcement fills out. So there's kind of conversations happening now at like our statewide bike ped coalition. But my understanding is, I'm not on that coalition, but I think they have gotten hung up kind of on how do we define exactly what we count as a micromobility device. And then it seems like as soon as we think we have a handle on how we can define it, they come out with some new kind of device that throws that out the window, you know?
Right.
Eric, do you know how to spell Kui? I might try to look her up myself. She
Yeah,
might be a really good resource for us.
Yes, sir. It is CUI. Her name is Can, C-A-N, Kui, C-U-I.
How do you spell the first name?
C-A-N.
Okay, Kui. I would have never guessed that, but thank you. That's very helpful.
Yeah, I can't recall. I can try to dig out her presentation that she delivered, maybe if I have it. I can't recall what her research focus is, but I know she's doing research related to micromobility.
I'll put my email in the chat here, Eric, and if you do find it, I would love to have that.
Perfect.
All right.
Jim's got his hand up.
Yeah, Jim Reiser, District 7 Law Enforcement Liaison. If you're going to do any outreach regarding these micro-mobility devices with the university students, you need to emphasize the fact that they need to be responsible for their riding behavior. And what I'm talking about, when they're on a sidewalk and you're walking, a car coming out of a parking garage, like in downtown Tampa, that we had several instances where the micro-mobility devices were getting struck. Some of the businesses did incorporate signage at the exit to those driveways to look out for pedestrians and the scooters. But it's still going to be an ongoing problem. But ultimately, your education needs to stress that they need to be responsible for when they're riding those. They need to be aware of all their surroundings, because the vehicles may not see them, because they do come up on you super fast when you're on the sidewalks. It happened to some of the police officers coming out of the police garage. Those things going, 10, 12 miles an hour. It doesn't sound fast, but I think the average walking speed is probably 5 or less. So they're right on top of you. So please make sure you're emphasizing that. As far as the Head Bike Coalition and changes to the crash report, that's been a monumental task, because DHSMV controls what's on that crash report. There's been several talks within DHSMV about how to capture that data reliably. And like Eric said, something else will come up. Now we've got the one wheels that some of them are, those powered unicycles that they look to me like they go a lot faster than 20 miles an hour, especially when the ones I've seen downtown. So, and the other challenge we have in law enforcement, and it's tough to do because the city, when I was there, wanted to promote the micromobility devices, but people simply do not obey the law when it comes to operation. Before crossing the road, they'll cross against the don't walk signal. They'll dart across the roadway diagonally. So that's going to be an ongoing challenge. Luckily, knock on wood, I don't think we've seen the fatality rate in Tampa be extraordinarily high with those, the ones I remember off the top of my head. Believe it or not, that rider or operator that probably would have qualified for a DUI should he have been stopped by law enforcement. So, there's a lot of different issues with that, but responsible operation needs to be a key point in the outreach that you do.
100%.
100%, James. Thank you. I guess we can move to the open forum. And any announcements? Open forum. Any comments, questions?
Hey, this is Ellen Snelling from Tampa Alcohol Coalition. I just wanted to say that normally our group would meet next week on the 21st, but I'm going to be with the group of prevention coalitions up in Tallahassee for Prevention Coalition Day. And we're going to talk to legislators. And two of our major topics are Delta 8 THC, trying to rein those in and keep kids from going to the emergency room. And also it's a substance that can be used that would cause DUI, and also kratom. So those are the two drug topics we're going to be trying to get some legislation moving forward this time. And I had some bad news today. We know Amendment 3 failed recently, and now the same group is going to be, they just announced today that 2026, they're going to have a constitutional amendment on the ballot, if they can get it on the ballot in 2026. Same type of thing. And some of the things we pointed out as loopholes, they've already have, from what my understanding is, they're saying no public smoking of marijuana. They're going to include that this time. So they're trying to make it a little better and hoping to get recreational marijuana in Florida. So we knew this was going to happen, but I just didn't expect them to announce it so quickly.
Yeah, and 2026 being the midterm elections, I guess, right?
Yes, midterm.
Yes.
So sometimes it's a little easier to fight a midterm, but you just never know. So we just want to really keep the education around marijuana going. The how even with medical marijuana being legal, there's increased DUI under influence of marijuana. So we want to make sure everyone understands that it's an intoxicating drug, impairs driving, and it also causes lots of different issues with our children. And it affects the developing brain. It's impacting pregnancies and babies developing. So we just want to start like immediately and try to get the word out about that so that we'll be prepared and people won't only hear from the other side, which is they always try to whitewash marijuana, make it sound like it's, it's harmless, it's a miracle drug, and we don't want people going to jail with one joint in their pocket, which doesn't happen. But we have to get ahead of the curve and try to get our education going now.
Thanks for mentioning that, Ellen. Any other announcements or comments? I guess not. No more questions, Melissa. So, okay.
No hands raised.
Okay. So next month's meeting was what, February 5th. It's set on the agenda. And then maybe the following month we have it here at UT. I just want to, boy, I tell you, when we had it over at USF, the parking was so convenient. And I just drive up and got my parking pass and parked, and I didn't even have to get there early, to get there on time. It was just like, driving right up to the parking garage. So that's one of the things I want to, get done before we commit to a meeting here in March, but try to make it better. I think we'll have it at the same place that Katie had it. What was it, a year or so back, in the Martinez building? I'm trying to remember the name of that, Sword and Shield room, I think. But it's a big enough venue, and it would be great just to see everybody come on over here and see UT, and we want to definitely pitch in as best as we can too. for this great collaboration team here. So, but I guess February 5th will be a virtual meeting, Eric, right? And then maybe in March we'll try to have it here over here. I'll try set up parking in the best possible. Any other closing comments or anything? Everybody, thank you so much for being here today. Guess not. So everybody have a good rest of the week. Thanks so much, Melissa, for filling in for Lori.
Thank you all.
And I'm not sure who Katie included in on her email, but she would love to hear from you. And I'll definitely let her know, that she'll be missed. And Friday is her last day. We have just a facilities party that we have on Friday from 11 to 2, but then Katie's going away parties at 3. And I'm not sure, if you think you wanted to attend that, just let me know and I'll see what it would take, just getting you invited to that. But it's at 3:00 on Friday, and that's her last day. And but then I'll mention to her that we wish her well and that good luck on the great opportunity. So anyway, you all have a good one. I guess it's time to leave. I'm terrible at goodbyes. But anyway, you all have a good one.
Thanks.
You as well, Marty. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, y'all.
Thank you.
See you
Thank
next
you.
month.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
All right.
Good seeing y'all.
See you, Melissa.